Hey book lovers! So I wanted to show you some of my favorite chapter books for some of our the different ages of kiddos. So we'll start with beginner readers, beginner chapter books. Some of my favorites are Hey Jack, Billy B, and Lily the Elf. Here's a couple right here. Hey Jack is awesome. There's just a few sentences on each page. It's has fun pictures in it, but it's still a chapter book. One of the really cool things about Hey Jack and Billy B are that there's no hyphenated words in there. So for kids who struggle with reading or have dyslexia or something like that, it makes it a lot easier for them to read because they're not going to have half of the word on the top line and then the other half on the next line. So that's really, really nice about Hey Jack and Billy B. They are, like I said, your very, very beginner chapter books. There's just a couple chapters and pretty simple words. Really fun stories. You're going to find all sorts of different topics that kids are going to go through. This is the bumpy ride. There's a soccer one dealing with kids at school and bullies and fun things that they're wanting to do, birthdays, all sorts of topics. Some other really great beginner reader ones. This is a new series. This is Billy and the Mini Monsters, and it's about a little boy who finds out that there's little mini monsters living in his bedroom. So in all of his adventures with these little monsters. It is a little bit graphic novel style, but it's still a chapter book. So if you have kids that love comic books, it's great for them. If you have kids that struggle with reading, it's great for those readers. And it's great for beginner readers as well. Just super funny, silly stories. So those are really cool. Another one that is great for beginner readers are Wheel Nuts. This series has a whole bunch of really crazy races that the drivers go through. This is the space one, but there's also a desert one and a spooky mansion one. There's lots of different ones. There's the racers themselves are totally crazy. I don't know if you can see these pictures. My boys, of course, like the flying diaper the best. They just laugh and giggle through that whole thing. Again, it's kind of similar to a comic book style, but it is a chapter book with, just really hilarious things that happen in here. So those are great. For a little bit older readers, not really older readers, but as your reader gets more confident, we have books like The Secret Mermaid and Fairy Unicorns and Fairy Ponies. Fairy Unicorns and Fairy Ponies are kind of sister series because the main character in Fairy Unicorns is the cousin to the main character in Fairy Ponies. And Fairy Unicorns is a brand new series that we've gotten recently. The Pup Patrol and Fizz are two really awesome chapter book series with dogs as the main characters. Super funny, silly things that happen. Those are awesome. As we get into older kid chapter books, my all-time favorites and my kids' all-time favorites are the Impossible Quest series. This is a great fantasy. There's 5 books in this series about a bunch of kids who their kingdom's taken over by the bad guys. So they have to go on a quest to find different artifacts so that they can awaken the stone warriors to save their kingdom. So it's a really fun fantasy adventure. So that one's great. Another one is the Mapmaker Chronicles, about a boy who gets chosen by the king to create a map of the world. So as he is sailing around the world, all the adventures that he comes across, it's really, really fun. And it's also kind of an adventure fantasy right there. If your kids like Percy Jackson type stuff, this is a really great series. This is the Koromori Chronicles. This is the first book. There's 3 books in this series. It's kind of similar to Percy Jackson, only it's a Japanese version. They have the Japanese gods instead of the Greek gods. So that's a really good one as well. This one, like I said, it's a bigger chapter book, so it's for your older readers, like 12 and older. And then another one, this is The Star of Deltora. If you're looking for an awesome girl power book, This is great. The main character in this one, she wants to be the captain of a merchant ship, but she has to prove herself. Her father was the captain of a ship, and so she's also trying to figure out what happened to him. So this is a really fun fantasy adventure. My daughter really liked this one. And I don't want to make this video too long, but if you have kids that are struggling with readers, we do have this graphic novel series that has come out with classics. So there's Robin Hood, King Arthur, and Dracula so far. These are not like little kid comic books. These are great for older readers as well. Anybody who loves comics, these are awesome. And this one is kind of a middle-aged, but I love this one because it kind of bridges the gap between comic book and a chapter book. So it has some comic book pages, but it is still a chapter book, and it is kind of a middle-aged chapter book as well. So, and this is the Mythical 9th Division. So check those out. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.